Hey, this lesson is for what we talked about, knowing your fretboard and chordals and maybe different chord positions and using that pentatonic. Trying to keep it simple, do it in the key of A. Blues, A, D, E. A, D, E is your 1, 4, 5, right? So to keep it simple, you should know where your A, D, and E live, right? So you have your opens, 5th string, A, 4th string, D, and your 6th string, E. So when you put a backing track on, you should play with just that. To maybe a backing track, and do that for an hour. Okay, that's one. Then you need to just find all the A's, find all the E's, find all the D's, right? So you're playing an A, you know the 5th fret and the 6th string's an A, all right? So then, therefore, the bottom string's an A on your 5th fret, right? That's where your A chord lives. And then if your A is open on the 5th string, well, on the 5th string on the 12th fret, it starts over again, there's another A. So as you're doing that, and that takes that takes practice. I mean, learning where your A's are. And throw a chord in. Right now when it changes to that D, you go start with the D open. And then say, where are all the other D's? Well, this 5th string is A, B, C, D. There's a D, and then the next string down is open is D. So that's the tuning thing. And if that 4th string open is D, then your 4th string at your 12th fret's a D. There's a whole bunch of D's right there. Then you also have your D chord. Right? So you kind of incorporate all those by longevity, playing over that backing track and just kind of being, stopping it, pausing it, and saying, there's your D. Oh yeah, I have a D down here. Right? And then there's another. It's a power chord, but that's a D. Slide it down to an E, same thing. There's an E. Right? So now you start to understand where your D's are a little, and it's only 3 notes. You don't stray from that. You just do the A, D, and the E. So when you go to the E, there's an E here. You should know that's D, E. A, B, C, D, E. D, E, and open are your notes. Now you can do that same blues thing with the A here and the D chord and the E chord, and then go maybe on one of those, throw an open in, right? So you're doing the A. Now when you go down to the D, kind of back to A. I just do a note on the E. Chord right there instead of going down here. The magic of the Keith Richards chord is coming next, but that is a week right there. Just picking a backing track and throwing all those different formats in there. See if I can do it. We'll end this video. Still an A. that is a lesson right there. But on top of that, there's this Keith Richards chord that we've been talking about. And here it is. When you do a power chord, that is what we're going to focus on. We're going to lose that. So you put your index finger where the bottom of the chord is, and it's the same thing as the A. So if you had a power chord here and you brought it up to the A, your nut does this for you, and there's your A back here. So you bring that up, there it is. The nut does that for you. So instead of doing it that way, we use our index finger, right? Well, it's the same thing on a power chord. Instead of doing the D here, you're going to do the D here with your index finger. And then with the E, you're just going to slide down 2 frets. And learn where to slide there. Takes a little bit of practice because your A is way up here, your D is way down here because there's the D power chord, right? So that's going to be a D, and then it's just going to be 2 frets is going to be your E. So there's where your other 2 chords live, and then your master chord is way up here. It doesn't have to be, it can be right here, right? There's the A on the 5th string, so it can be. So, last thing, that's a whole nother thing while you're doing that. All A's, so when you go to the D, see what I did there? I did that. Open, all D. So you know how you can do it here. When you're doing those, when you're doing that part of the chord that leaves all this open, the pentatonic lives on every one, same thing. 1 4 1 4 1 3 1 3. When you go down the E, 1 4 1 4 right over the chord. And you go up. When you A, same thing. So check it out. That's the same, you know. I'm only doing this on all of them. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, because you can just hit all these. Plus that open works there. It doesn't work down here. I mean, it can work because there's an A in that D, but what I do is you just kind of strum these bottom ones. One more tip. That is a really no whole nother lesson. I'm giving you something you're gonna divide up and practice really good. Practice your opens, where your chords are for your A. You do your D next. Know where that is. And then do your E, same thing. Right, it's these two. These two. Right, this one. This one. That one is just the other side of the chord. Know where that is. I mean, you know, it takes time, sure, but it's going to help you with all kinds of other things, because anytime you do a D, you're going to know that's there. Well, anytime you do a G, you're going to know that there's a G there. Works on every one. I'm just plucking them together, but... All right. Now, what else was I going to show you? Well, there's a whole lot more that you can expand on that. We're not going to get crazy with that, but with those concepts of the pentatonic living right under your chord, it's gonna open up all kinds of sounds for you. Listen. Oh, this is the other one. This is the other concept I wanted to show you. When you're doing blues, you can take the guesswork out of your strumming hand, because this is what you're doing with the da, 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 da. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. The rhythm never changes, just the muting happens. So watch my hand, it's the same. Down to the seventh. Back up to the second. Down to the ninth fret. Seventh. Back to the second. To the ninth. Second. Second fret. Yay. Seventh fret. Back to the second. To the ninth, to the seventh, and back to the second fret, back to the ninth. But once you get good at that, when you do that, instead of going back to the ninth, you go do an E there, right? Or 12th fret, E. You know, you can take all those chords that you learn individually and plug one in here, one in there, just for a different, tonality. So the strumming was what I wanted to show you. I mean, the strumming on blues, you really, it's just this. That's another thing you just practice, just the exercise of playing to a backing track with the strumming. I mean, that's actually pretty good. It changed it on me. Right there, I was doing nothing more than using these notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 on all of those chords. Just doing something different, like. I'm just doing a little. It's a 15-minute video, but you got a month's worth of shit. And I would just avoid playing any G's, any C's, anything that strays from those three, just so you don't muddy up your brain. Stick to those three, A, D, and E. Find them on the fretboard. Play to a backing track. I love Chicago blues. It's got a nice tempo to it. Play to a good backing track that you like, and just have fun with those, and then start to explore on these. You could get lost in it. It's great. And you could do the opens. Go back, say, oh, I'm going to do the opens again. Do the opens. And then say, oh, I'm going to do the chords. Do them like that if you want. And it's a power chord. Richards chord there, you know, change them up, find what works for you, have fun with it. And I'm sorry that this is a 16-minute video, but it's hard for me to explain all this and anything shorter than that. But there's a whole nother thing where you could play this loop, or over this you can play a minor pentatonic or a major pentatonic over this, okay? So this blues that I'm teaching you right here, that pentatonic, that's major pentatonic. If you want the minor, then you have to start on the A, same thing. 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3. But you can play that A minor over the whole thing. You can play that A major over the whole thing. So here's a minor. That's that 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. Over that chord right there, A right there. Now I'm going to switch to the major. Oops, I was the A. But you can play that minor pentatonic over the whole thing. You can play the major pentatonic over the whole thing. You can play that D major over the D chord. You can play that E major over the E chord. So you can't play those over the whole song, but you can play those over that chord. So when you hit that chord, you know, because it's in the key of A, you can play the A major or the A minor pentatonic using that same position over the whole song. So if you just want to lead, right, you're playing the lead while you're strumming the chord a little bit. But then when you want to break and you want to actually lead, pick one of those, mix them. That's the A, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. And for this A instead of the A up here. If you do the A up here, major, you do the A here, minor. I like the sound of the minor. I mean, I just think it sounds more bluesy, but I like them both. Here's the minor. Major, major D, major A, major E. I know it seems like a lot, but really it's all the same position. It's the same notes. It's just a matter of where you play it. Man, I hope that you break this up the way I'm seeing it and not overwhelm yourself. This lead stuff, you can go back to this later. All right, so now I'm into a 20-minute video, but you know, do the open, do the chordal, do all that stuff before you start the leads, you know, and have fun with it. But if you get lost, you have questions, man, I'm all about helping people, helping musicians. I mean, Lord knows I've gotten some help through the years. All right, brother, peace. Stay safe.